Let's talk about our new Micro A-Rigs, also known as Alabama rigs or umbrella rigs. So these are micro-sized A-Rigs that are made for ultralights and BFS styles of fishing. So usually an A-Rig will come with much heavier wire, larger components, bigger blades, and those are just way too big for ultralights or really even finesse fishing. A lot of those A-Rigs, you can't even get a smaller jig head onto their snaps because the wire on them is way too thick and won't even go through the eye of your jig. So these, like I said, are made for an ultralight. They fish very well on like 6-pound test. That's kind of the little sweet spot. I use fluorocarbon, more abrasion resistant. You could use some very light braid on this, but these are not meant for heavy braid or heavy line fishing. These are meant to be fished on ultralights. They are very light. They only weigh, most of these I think are between 2 and 3 grams or something like that. So super light. You also want to fish light jig heads on these. So 1/32, by the time you put 3 of them on there, it starts to add up pretty quick. So 1/32, 1/16, 1/24, any of those smaller jig heads is really what you want to be fishing on these. Size 6s, size 4s, that's really about as big as you want to go. If you're wanting to fish, 2+ inch baits on size 2s and 1/0s, these are not for you. These are meant to be fishing size 6s, size 4s, 2 inches and smaller baits. This right here is a mighty minnow. I think he's 1.8 inches long. He fits pretty good on these little guys. And we have several different styles of A-Rigs. This one here is actually a newer one where it has a blade, a vibrating blade on the front of it. Has 3 little micro willow blades. And here I've got an 1.5-inch rip shad. So even smaller than that mighty minnow. And you don't necessarily have to fish paddle tails on here. You could fish split tail minnows or little crappie stingers, especially on these ones that have like a vibrating jig on or vibrating blade on it, or the ones that have willow blades on them, because those will add a lot of flash and movement to the rig too. But if you're fishing just the plain one, then you probably will want to fish a paddle tail, something that gives it some movement. This is kind of the basic one that we offer, pretty simple, just 3 wires and some snaps and swivels on the bottom. And we also have a plain, just 3-bladed one as well. And the first one I showed you has 6 blades. So for such a small little rig, this has a lot going on. A lot of flash, a lot there to catch fish's eye. Guys like to fish these kind of in the winter, cooler seasons, and the water's cold. It's hard to get those fish motivated. Something like this will kind of get them to come up and obviously grab your bait. Now, when we ship these, we ship them just not pre-bent, we ship them just flat like that. What you're going to do is when you get them is you're just going to take the wire and you're just going to bend it. And you can bend these arms so you get kind of a wider spread like that. Or you can kind of have them more in kind of a cone if you want a tighter spread like that. So you can kind of adjust the rig to kind of just the spread and the look that you're going for. But this bladed one, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone put a blade on an A-Rig. We might be the first one, we might not be. I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know if we're not. But this is a pretty sneaky little rig here. This front blade just vibrates the whole rig. Got a little bit of flash going on there too. So this is something we haven't seen before. But like I said, I don't know if someone else out there has done it. But well, I know for sure we're probably the only ones doing ultralight ones with the blade on the front. And I don't know if anyone's doing any commercially made A-rigs specifically for ultralight and BFS or not. I don't know if I've seen those either. We made these just out of a need because we needed them. We wanted to fish them, and I couldn't find any. So we both of us here at Moondog have bought traditional A-rigs before, and they're always too big to throw on an ultralight, especially with all the thicker wire and thicker swivels and things like that. So now you guys have an ultralight option or a BFS option, and you can find them on our website, moondogbaitco.com. You can also find all these little smaller soft plastics to go with them that pair up really well with these A-rigs. And that is our Micro Ultralight A-Rigs.